Welcome back to the Zyori Podcast, episode number 122. It is 3/22/18. That's right, March 22nd. This is the Dota equivalent of 420, Trent. This is like our day.
Or May the 4th. Wow, I never realized we had it. Someone should make a post. Is there one on the subreddit? Oh, well, there's 3/22 competitive matches China. That's pretty funny.
Yes, I think so. Oh, God.
Gabe brought me in a room and
Well,
said,
Trent,
Yeah, there should be
big day.
Dog's anus.
It is. And where are we at?
It's
God
been
damn
one
it.
week. It's been 1 week since I can tell you about the craziest morning of my life.
Well,
Should we just start there? Because I'm not going to be able to talk about anything else, dude.
let's do it.
I'm
Let's
sure you're
actually do it.
All right, so we went to Romania.
Last night.
We did a live episode of the
would've
Zyori
let me go to
Podcast.
TI.
It was great.
Because
I
Gabe
got
brought-
back from Romania, and I had 3 weeks and 5 days until the due date of my babe.
Mm-hmm.
And so I got back in Tuesday at like 1 a.m., 2 a.m. kind of deal. And then Thursday morning, we had a prenatal appointment.
Okay.
So just like standard stuff, you know, you go in, you do your thing. Oh, the Slacks is doing that thing. Did you turn it off?
I did. I just actually fixed it. I found
Great
it.
work.
There were 2 of them. Sneaky.
Oh, that bastard. All right, so we go to the prenatal thing. It's like 9 a.m. is when we had to be there by. So it's pretty early in the morning on Thursday. I'm starting to feel sick, but it's like, you know what? I'm good. I'm home. I've been home for like 36, 48 hours at this point. Life's good. And so we go in the appointment, start doing the normal stuff, getting all the blood work and everything from Sarah. Not even blood work. All they do is like they weigh her and they just do like heart rate and stuff. And her heart rate was a little high because she was laughing about a joke with her mom because her mom's there, obviously, because her mom's a doctor and she works at the same clinic and blah, blah, blah. Then we go in, and every single time these prenatal appointments, they check the baby's heart rate with like this little, it's basically like an ultrasound thing, right? You put the little gel on, you slap it on there, does the baby's heart.
Uh-huh.
Baby's heart's a little high. And doctor's like, well, I mean, you were just out there laughing. Your heart rate was high. He's probably just mimicking you. No big deal. But we're going to send you down to the hospital for some extra monitoring for like 15 minutes. You put this like strap on, does some extra, you know, a little bit more detailed heart analysis, and then you're good to go.
Mm-hmm.
So we go down to the hospital. We get all set up. We're in there. And then she starts doing that thing. Everything looks great. They're like, yeah, you're going to be out here in like 15 minutes. He's all good. Then 10 minutes into that, his heart rate plummets down to 50. And we're looking at the thing like, 50? Uh-oh, that seems low. That must just be the sensor. Then it stays on 50 for like 5 minutes. And about 3 minutes into it, I'm like, there's no nurse in the room. It's just me and Sarah. And of course, Sarah's starting to get a little nervous. I'm starting to get nervous. So I'm like walking down the hall like, excuse me, nurse. I think our sensor might be off. And then she comes back in. She looks at it. She's like, let's just roll you over. So we roll Sarah on her side. And then the baby's heart rate goes totally normal. So they figure, oh, he's probably like on the cord for a second or something. No big deal. But then that creates another instance of, well, just to be sure, we're going to send you upstairs to the other monitoring unit and we're going to watch you again. So we're like, oh my God, like this stupid baby.
Uh-huh.
Then we got tracked upstairs to another unit and she's got more of these things strapped on her belly. And then the heart rate plummets again. And they basically just like look at Sarah and they're like, you're having a C-section. That baby is not going to tolerate labor. And we were 3.5 weeks, like, we were ready to go home. I mean,
Wow.
I had a pita sitting at home that I was ready to eat. I was so fucking hungry. I didn't eat breakfast before I went to the appointment because Sarah was going to go right to work from the appointment, and I was coming home to cast Dota and eat. So I didn't eat, and I was so fucking hungry at this point. And so by the time they said, you're having this baby, to the time that he was pulled out was... Seriously, it was like 25 minutes. It's
Jesus
actually that
Christ.
insane. Like, I had food that I was like eating while someone was putting pants over my pants, like scrub pants. Be like, you got to go to the OR. You got to eat that, and we got to go because they didn't want me to pass out because they knew I hadn't eaten. But I mean, I would have been fine. Let's be honest. But I was glad they let me eat. So yeah, we go down. We're in the OR. They put the spinal thing in Sarah, and she gets lied down and they start cutting her open and then suddenly a baby comes out and you're just like, what the fuck just happened?
So
half an hour ago, we were about to go home and now there's suddenly this. He was so gross looking. It was so funny. He was like all gray. He was like, eh!
Wow. So not to assume the gender here, but is that a boy I'm hearing?
Yes, he was a boy.
Wow.
We didn't know. It was a total mystery. Actually, it was kind of funny.
A little Trent.
Yeah, little Trent. So basically the way they do it is that if it's like a C-section thing, there's like a little curtain thing, so Sarah can't like see anything that's happening. But I was able to I can like stand up and look over if I want. So once I knew the baby was coming out, I just peeked up and over, and then they have me announce the gender to the room. That's like the thing that happens. Sorry, the sex to the room. 2018, guys.
Mhm.
And so so I look and I'm like looking at this baby and I'm just like, it's a boy. Like there's so much jumble. There's like a cord hanging there. I couldn't figure out what the hell was down there. And also his balls were much bigger than I expected. So I didn't know what was going on, but I was like, that's a boy. So yeah, so we had a little boy. And then he had to do some other monitoring stuff, and he had all this other crap that was wrong with him because he was preterm, but it was nothing serious. It was all just like, oh, he needs a little bit of sugar because he's a little early, and oh, he has to go underneath these little UV lights because he's a little early, but he's all good now. There was never any serious concerns about his health.
Well, dude, I mean, don't worry. Sunsfan was what, like three months premature or something, and he turned out okay. So that's
Yeah, that's right. That's why he was in diapers at 4 years old,
exactly
or whatever the hell that story was.
Wow.
But yeah,
Whew.
it was pretty crazy. It made me very happy to be in Canada. Not gonna lie, because if that was an American baby, we would be bankrupt.
So did it cost you extra money because there was extra shit?
Cost us fuck all, dude. Literally nothing.
Couple of loonies, that's it? Just you tip the doctor or something?
We shelled out extra money to have a private room because Sarah has very good insurance through her work, so her insurance automatically covers up to a semi-private room, which means you'll probably get it to yourself, but there's a chance you'll have to share with one other family.
Oh.
But we just paid to have a private room, which is like $50 a night over top of her insurance.
Okay.
So
I think you can afford that.
Yeah.
Wow.
But if
I'm
you don't have extra insurance in Canada, you get put in like these like ward rooms that can have up to 4 families. That would be pretty shitty.
Oh yeah. I don't know, dude. I've definitely had some terrible thoughts like that of, having a kid would be cool, but there's a sort of level of risk involved where you're just like, what if it's got problems? I'm in America. I don't have good health insurance. What are we doing here? I'm not about to take care of a special needs kid. Do I look like the kind of person that could handle that? I'm absolutely not,
Yeah.
Did you guys do prenatal testing?
What do you mean? Like, oh yeah, we had like full out everything.
Yeah, for like genetic things or whatever.
Oh, we didn't do any sort of like crazy genetic stuff, but like in Canada, you get free testing for, they do a ton of ultrasounds. Like, I knew all of his percentiles. I knew that his head was in the 97th percentile.
Whoa!
Like halfway through the pregnancy, he had a big old noggin, just like his daddy. So that was great.
Wow,
that was pretty funny.
Well, that's good.
So yeah, and I mean, even that day they did another ultrasound, like while we were waiting in between going for those monitoring strips and stuff, and they were just like, "Oh yeah, he scores an 8 out of 8." Although they said it scores an 8 out of 8 because we still didn't know. So like they're ultrasounding, and we're like pretty sure it's about to be born, and Sarah and I are just like not looking because we don't want to know, even though it was like an hour away. Well, at that point it was like 20 minutes away, I suppose. But
wow. Wow. So what are the first impressions, man? You're home. Have you slept at all? Are you guys getting along? Are you ready to kill each other yet? How's everyone handling it?
It's been good. It's a lot of work, man. I mean, they tell you that. It is true. Turns out it's quite a bit of work for this baby thing. The worst thing that happened though was that we were in the hospital for 3 days the first time. So yeah, we slept there for 2 nights. And then the reason why we had to stay longer than usual was because his sugars were low, just because he was a little early, which is normal. But they had to keep giving him blood tests like on his foot. And then once the sugar was cleared up, they sent us home. But there's a thing called bilirubin, which is like essentially it's like a neurotoxin that's in your bloodstream. And when you're a baby, if they come preterm, they often have too much of it. And it's essentially you have to like poop and pee it out. But the problem is that it's a neurotoxin in the sense that it makes them very tired. So they don't pee or they don't eat as much. So therefore, they're not going to pee and poop as much. So it starts like build up inside of them. So you have to use UV lights. So anyway, when we went to take him in for a checkup the day after we had gotten home, they were like, oh, his bilirubin's too high. Like, he needs to go back in the hospital. You guys have to go back into a room, and he needs to sit under a tanning bed for, like, 24 hours. So we had to go back into the hospital after being home, after being in the hospital for 3 days, which really sucked.
Yeah.
Not going to lie, that was awful.
I think I had something like that. I remember my parents said that I was purple or I was some weird funny color, and they put me under UV lights for a couple days.
Yeah.
After I came out, they couldn't touch me for like 2 or 3 full days because I was in isolation. For
One of those things. Yeah, it's that kind of stuff. So, I mean, again, it's kind of like a minor thing. It was like there's never any concern. It's just like, oh yeah, he's gonna be fine, but you gotta go back to the hospital. And you're like, oh no. But we were planning on being there for 2 days, but he responded extremely well to the UV lights, better than they expected. So we only had to stay 1 night. So that was great.
Sweet.
And man, you could see such a difference too, because like that whole idea of like the neurotoxin and how like it like stops him from being awake and everything. He's just way more awake now after that. I hadn't really thought about it, why he was so sleepy all the time. But yeah, so basically my free time since this baby has been like this is my free time right now, because I just drove Cliff and Sarah over to Sarah's mother's place, so grandma, while they bake a cake right now. And this is about it.
Huh.
Yep. Other than that, I've just been cleaning diapers, changing diapers, washing dishes. And this is like on top of, I haven't cooked a meal in a week because everyone's been bringing us food. And at the hospital, obviously, they just like bring you food.
God damn,
so, like,
man.
there's whole parts of my life that I don't even have to do right now, and I still don't have time. It's pretty funny.
It's still awesome though. That is the best part about having a kid. If you can time it right when you've got the family network where they're just oh, grandkid, we're excited, we're ready to help. Like that is the dream right there.
Dude, people can't get enough of them. Like people are like fighting over them basically, and people are like,
oh yeah,
there's so many casseroles in my fridge and my freezer. It's unreal. I have too many sweets as well. Like I'm trying to get people to come over. Just to eat it. So.
Wow, that's great.
But please, if you're in Halifax, come on over. I've got carrot cake. I've got lemon meringue pie. I've got berry tarts. I've got
I'm coming,
cookies.
dude.
I've got other cookies. I have another type of cookies. And there's more.
All right, well, I'm ready.
Yeah, okay, perfect. So now when you come visit, you'll meet Cliff.
Great.
Clifford Owen Mackenzie. That's his full name. For you
So how'd you settle on Clifford?
I don't know. Like, one thing that I really like growing up is having a unique name.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I never met another Trent. I met one other Trent ever, in all my school years, but he wasn't in my grade or anything, and I just kind of saw him once. I don't know. I just liked having a different name, and so Clifford was the name of Sarah's great grandfather. We have a lot of excellent names in our family history. I got some Alfreds. I got some Ralphs. I got some Sterlings. There were some tempting names out there.
All right, it's a solid name.
I really liked Cliff.
Wow.
I was a big fan of Cliff, so I was really happy when Sarah was like, what about Clifford? I was like, yes.
Huh. It is a pretty... I don't know any Cliffs. I don't think I've ever... Well, okay, there's one. The best psychologist I ever talked to, his name was Clifford Lazarus, and I always thought that was a badass name.
That's actually really random. The psychiatrist at Catherine's office is like the only Clifford that she knows. That's kind of funny.
That is very funny. Huh. Small world. And middle name named after OD Pixel, of course, right?
That's right.
That's great. An homage to Dota. Very nice, Trent.
Yeah, no problem.
That's going to get you a TI invite right there.
That's what I was hoping for, actually. I figured, if Fogged ever goes down, I'm number 2 as his casting partner, just by that.
There you go, dude. If Fogged ever goes back to pro playing, you are in there, dude. You have a TI Grand Finals lined up for you. It's T-ball, baby.
Yeah, I'm buttering him up.
Wow. Well, that's awesome, dude. Congraties on that.
Thank you. He is so fucking cute, dude. I can't stop looking at him. I'm just like,
yeah.
I've learned a lot of interesting things about babies early on. Did you know they don't smile? For the first, I think it's like 6 to 12 weeks or something. No, 12 weeks sounds too long. It's like 6 weeks. It's like 6 to 8 weeks or something. They don't smile.
Well, yeah. At the beginning, they're pretty infantile. They're kind of blobby. Yeah. They just exist. They don't really do much.
Yeah, he just looks at you. They stare at faces a lot. They love faces.
Yeah.
And yeah, he basically just kind of looks at you. He makes really funny faces when he poops. He farts a lot. Oh my god, he farts. It's so funny.
Farter.
He'll just be sitting there. He sounds like a set of bagpipes sometimes, and every time you think it's the last fart, another one comes out. Oh, it's so great.
Solid.
Yeah.
Solid.
Although everything pretty much went wrong in terms of what we wanted for the delivery. Sarah was very excited for just a normal birth. She really wanted to labor. I mean, her mother is a obstetrician, so she's been around babies like her whole life.
Yeah.
She's very used to like this whole idea of just like giving birth and stuff. And she thinks it's amazing, and she was really excited to do the whole thing. And she was really upset when they came in for the C-section. But although everything's going wrong, the breastfeeding's going great.
That's good.
So that's good.
Very,
so
important.
Happy.
Big proponent of the breastfeeding. I don't understand the argument against, to be honest.
The one great thing about Nova Scotia is that it is extremely pro breastfeeding. They will do fucking anything to make you breastfeed.
Really?
Like, yeah, you can have a nurse come to your house anytime for free to get you to breastfeed. They will do whatever the fuck you need. They will help you latch. They'll help you pump those boobies if they're too swollen.
You can just get like a free helper that's just built into the system if you need it.
Yep, call them up.
Damn,
like,
dude.
yo.
Damn, I'm jealous. I'm very jealous. Eek, America sucks.
It's actually, although I say it's the one thing that's gone well. There is one issue where, hopefully Sarah never sees this. She's actually making too much milk.
Uh-oh.
Well, not necessarily too much, but like it's kind of insane.
I mean,
like,
can't have too much milk.
She's at the point where like sometimes it swells so much that the baby can't latch. Like,
wow.
It's pretty funny. Her boobs are humongous. It's quite comical. Not gonna lie. We've been laughing a lot about it.
You know, that's nature doing its thing.
That's nature, baby.
It's everything working as intended.
It's pretty damn funny.
Wow. Well, very exciting stuff, man. That's pretty insane. That also makes me feel old, dude. I'm older than you by a couple of years, and there is no baby in sight for me. So I'm gonna live vicariously through your child. This is gonna be like the 1 degree of separation. I'll be the cool uncle that pops in every so often and hello.
Yeah, I'll bring him on sometime. He'll make a facial appearance.
Yeah, that'll be good. Next hub featuring Trent's baby, the baby cam.
Damn, that's a dank idea. The baby cam. He would not be very excited.
One up the pug cam, dude. That's the whole next level. It's like Truman Show, the baby.
I was thinking about that. I was thinking like I would never do this ever. But I was thinking today about how I'm kind of surprised there hasn't been. Maybe there has been, and I've just never heard of it. But I feel like there should have been some sort of a like crazy popular baby stream at this point.
You mean a stream of a baby or streams for babies?
No, like stream of a baby. Like I'm surprised there hasn't been some mega Twitch streamer.
But who would watch it? Other babies? Would it be like the?
No, it would be like people who were like attached. Like let's say Day 9 had a baby, for example.
Okay.
Or like who's like what if Dr. Disrespect had a fucking baby and he just wanted to be like?
Doesn't he have a kid already?
Yeah, he does. And he fucked him over with all his shit. But I don't know.
Okay, let's say he had a new baby right now.
I'm surprised no one's done a Truman-esque thing where it's like,
okay,
even it's just like, here's my baby for an hour a day. Like every day for 1 hour, we're gonna stream this baby and everything that happens to him.
And it's just the baby. Well, so one of the biggest growing sections of YouTube for a while, I don't know if it's still the case, but it's content for kids. And a lot of it is kind of weird, but some of it is just like adults playing with their kids, doing kid shit, and it's just kids watching other kids play with blocks, and they're mesmerized by it. And it's awesome for YouTube revenue because kids don't give a shit about commercials, and you get a lot of they watch full videos, so it makes your YouTube stats good. So it was a great demographic for a while, but then people started getting creepy with it and putting subliminal messages in, and now people are a little more against it.
Yeah, I saw all that about those random ass things.
It's weird. Very, very, all of it is very weird. I don't know. I wouldn't just hand the kid a tablet. You know what I'm saying? I would be a little more.
Yeah, we're pretty against that.
It's, you don't want to not show them a tablet, though. You don't want them to be behind and using touch screens because that's important.
He's not being an idiot, but it's definitely like
monitored.
Obviously, we've been going to all these prenatal appointments and stuff, and a lot of the doctors where Sarah's mother works and where her doctor is have a lot of like pediatric care. So there's a lot of kids coming in and out there.
Yeah.
And almost all of them have those little like tablets with the briefcase handle thing.
Uh-huh.
Where it's like that gooey thing around. Can you picture what I'm talking about? Have you ever seen these things?
I have, yeah.
Dude, every single kid in there has one.
Really?
Oh yeah, it's tons of them, and they're all on tablets. And I've heard a lot of the doctors just lamenting and be like, "You seriously can't take the thing away from the kid, or it freaks out." It's like the next level of like kids that are like super attached to a soother.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. It's a weird balance. Like, I know when I was a kid, I feel like I watched way too much mindless television and so many shitty commercials that, like, I don't know. There was no need for that. You know, my parents were like 50-50. They pretended to be restrictive about the internet, but they weren't really. So I, kind of did whatever I wanted, and I went into chat rooms with strangers and shit. But I either got pretty lucky or I just had good sense and never really did anything that stupid or saw anything that bad. I never had a desire to type bad things in. I was never like, porn.com, oh my God. I was just like, no, I'm going to get in trouble if I do that. I'm just not like, I don't need to look at the bad stuff. I can control myself. I remember thinking that, like, I don't know. It was a weird, I don't know if normal kids have that thought when they're just using the internet or if the internet's different now than it used to be. I'm talking about like first time I really started using the internet alone was like 1999, 1998. In my family, we had the computer in the kitchen. That was supposed to be the fail-safe. But you're not always in the kitchen. If you wake up before everybody else, you're still alone in the kitchen on the computers. You can do whatever the fuck you want, But anyway, that was my family's weird mechanism of protection.
Yeah, I was kind of the same way. I remember the weirdest thing I did when I was younger on the computer. Not weird, but like looking back on it, I'm just like, was those Pogo games. It was like a website where you could play like pool and stuff like that. And they had a little chat room next to it, so you could like talk to the person you were with, and everyone would do ASL at the start of those. And I was like 10 or 11, and I would just lie and say I was older or something. Or you just make up random ASLs.
Yep.
That was great. And half of them would be 16, female, Cali. I remember that over and over. And it was like,
California, man, that was the cool spot. Mahalos.
Yeah.
Dude, one time, Carlo and I were playing Wheel of Fortune on our computer when it was in the basement, and we named ourselves Shit and Ass, and my dad came down and saw it when we were like 11, and he just said, "Why are your names Shit and Ass?" And I was just like, "I don't know," and he just literally walked away, and it was one of those weird moments when I felt like we really got away with something, but in retrospect, that was really not that big of a deal. Shit and Ass. What mischief we got on the computer. And to think. We could have been meeting strangers. Fuck. We could have just been playing Dota.
Life could have been so much better.
Yeah. Wow.
And I think I've been sick, honestly, twice in the past 3 years. And that morning of all of this madness was the day I was sick. So that really sucked. So I've been coughing and hacking and all kinds of shit all week. So that's been great. So I'm kind of extra tired.
Is it a boy, girl, or gender confused? That's a great question from Von Decker.
Who knows? Currently, he has a penis.
TVD.
For now. You never know.
Oh, Jesus. Did you bump into any, like, in the healthcare system? I don't know. Where is Canada on the gender spectrum? Did you bump into any progressive stuff where you're kind of like, all right, listen, it's a boy, all right? No?
No one ever said anything.
Cool. It
There
never
was,
came
like-
up in any of like the prenatal courses or anything about being gender neutral or some shit.
I mean, there's like a lot of the doctor's office. There's like little diagrams talking about the difference between sex and gender and just like what it means when people feel like they might be trans and stuff like that. I mean, it's all very supportive of that stuff, but there's no one telling you like, don't call him a he just because he has a penis.
It's not
like,
proactive. I see.
We're very in that like mellow zone of just like, maybe just like listen to your kid and kind of pay attention to the stuff they're saying and try and work around that and figure out how they feel.
Oh, that's
that kind
good.
of stuff.
Oh, yeah, that's good. That's a good middle ground, I think. It makes some sense. One thing that a lot of people somehow still don't understand is that sexual identity and sexual orientation are two different things. Like you can be straight or gay and male or female with either with either genitalia. Like those three things are not necessarily interconnected, and that's sort of a meta concept for a lot of people. You can be like male or female based on your genitals. You can feel male or female internally, and you can be attracted to males or females, all not interconnected with each other. Does that make sense, Trent?
I like it.
It does make sense. I know you understand what I'm saying.
I've been doing all the paperwork too. That's been pretty funny. Actually, I had to do like the birth certificate and everything right. So of course I'm freaking out to make sure that I spelt it right. And like double, triple checking everything. And I had to laugh because at one point it says type of birth. And I was like, type of birth? I thought it was going to be like C-section or like vaginal and stuff like that. And I clicked like the little drop-down box, and it just says single, twin, triplet. It went to 12.
Wow.
Who's having 12 babies at once?
Wow.
Who's I forget what it was called. It was like duo, dapa, deca, some crap like that. It was pretty funny.
Yep.
I had a good laugh. My mother-in-law was there, and she was just like, "Is this the same one they use for the vet's office?" Jesus.
I mean, it's you got to be inclusive of everybody, and that to be fair though, like now with the stuff they have when people have trouble getting pregnant, what's it called? The
like fertility stuff,
Yeah, sometimes it can be too effective, so you'll pop out 4. That's how that shit happens,
Yeah,
So
exactly.
now that that's been introduced into the system, you have to have, you don't want to single people out because they had too many by accident. It's not their fault.
Duo decuplets. I think that's right, Mr. Rabbit, sir. I believe that to be the correct one that was there.
Duo couplets. That's great. Well, that's fabulous.
You get a lot of cool stuff from the hospital too. You get baby books. Everyone gets a free pair of baby books. In fact, my mother, before we had the baby, she came and dropped off a little bag that had that was like from our house, and it had like a couple little baby things in it, and it was the same bag that they gave to us. It was like for the past 27 years they've been given the same little set of baby books. Well, not the same set of baby books, but the same little kit to every baby in Nova Scotia. It was pretty cute.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations, bud. That's all of that is very, very enlightening. It makes me feel good. +1 for humanity. We've got a new little warrior, a little Dota player, a little soccer player coming into
That's my one more English speaker on US East, guys.
Yep, coming into the
got
fray.
you. Yeah.
Little hockey player, dude.
I hope so. Except hockey's expensive. So
Go
probably
Mooseheads.
not.
Oh, he's gonna be a basketball kid. So you're telling me?
Yeah, I'm just gonna buy him some shoes. So much easier, dude. I know how to play basketball too. I'm good at basketball. I can play
that's
road
good.
hockey, but I can't skate very well. I can't play defense, man. I can't back skate. I can't back check. Sarah can. She could teach him, I guess.
Really? Is Sarah better at hockey than you?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. So
Yeah, she's good. She plays at work, man.
Oh,
Before
I
this whole baby
see.
thing.
So
She,
she
like,
gets
plays
real
at lunchtime.
practice. She plays in the
Yeah.
work league.
Yeah.
That's badass.
Mm.
All right. Well, let's
Ugh.
let's move on to a juicy.
Now that I've exploded, thankfully,
Yes.
Jesus, dude,
That-
that's been bottled up for like a week.
That's good. No, that only took 28 minutes, so that's good.
Okay,
That's
good. No problem, guys.
hashtag worth. But let's talk about this nice topical piece here. Top of the subreddit right now. Grand Grant for TI, 1,900 upvotes, 72% though. Little controversial. Mr. Pax, what are we thinking? Will Grand Grant ever get the golden invite from the Frog to the most prestigious esports event in history coming up later in 2018? Will it happen?
I was while doing baby things last night, I was listening actually to Kyle and Grant cast. And Kyle at the end of the cast goes, "I'm gonna go make a thread right now. I want you guys all in there upvoting and commenting on it. Let's get Grant to TI." And he actually went and did it.
Not surprised.
Kyle, what a card. So yeah, that's the old Melons thread. Will Grant ever make it to TI? I don't know. I think with the work that he has done in the past, if let's pretend old Grant never existed, then yeah, Grant would make it. I think that makes sense. He's been a good caster. He knows a lot about, especially obviously about NA, but he knows more about just than NA. You can actually ask him a lot about Chinese Dota, C Dota. He does know those guys. It's more of like a kind of a character. That like he wouldn't. I think Grant would actually be an excellent panelist if he was used more often.
Yeah. I think he has a little bit of that thing where he shines more when he's not on camera. Not meant to be a flame, but doing on-camera panel work is a lot more difficult. This sounds dumb, but you need to know what to do with your hands, so to speak. You need to really be more comfortable bringing out some flair and filling and stretching out a conversation and doing this kind of podcasty bullshit. Grant really shines when he's not on. He has that bulldog thing. There's no camera. It's focused mostly on Dota, but there's a pause or there's a lull in the action. He's really good at pointing out specific things that are really interesting because he's played a lot of top tier Dota, but he's fucking ridiculous and says things that are off the wall and can mesh with people like Kyle really, really well.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And
He
I
is
think
very good.
that combo makes a lot of sense to me because they're both pretty outspoken dudes. They both can kind of they play off of each other, right? It creates this positive feedback loop where they amp each other up, and I can totally see why people like that duo. There's a lot of synergy there and a shit ton of knowledge. It's been pretty rare that there's been a double analyst cast where people aren't like, yeah, this is kind of dry and boring. Player streams where they're casting are pretty cool, but if you can take the best parts of that and then also add casting synergy to it, that's fucking awesome. So I agree. If this was just here and now, absolutely, no doubt, Grant could get to a TI, but I don't know, man. There are some things that some people would argue just get you blacklisted forever, and it's hard to separate rumor from fact, but Grant has a dark history. A lot of it was public on stream. He's been pretty mean to a lot of people and pretty unapologetic about it, and that's part of what makes Grant awesome, but at the same time, makes him a little bit of a dick compared to a lot of people. I don't know.
And that's where the problem comes in because it's like it's such an exclusive event that they don't really, there's no like, all right, we need one more, That's not how TI works. It's not like, all right, who's our filler pick here? Like that's not it. So you kind of have to be perfect. And even if you are perfect, sometimes you just get snubbed for multiple years and no one loves you.
Yeah.
Not speaking of anyone specifically. But it's tough, man. It's hard to get to that TI invite. It's a rough life.
Yeah,
and no matter how far away and how unlikely you think it will be, you still wait until those little invites come out, just thinking maybe I'll get invited.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I have no fucking idea. This year now feels crazier than ever. We just had this great setup at the major. Hopefully we're going to get some more practice in once you get a little more time after baby stuff calms down. Still plenty of time before TI. I don't know, dude. I've already been invited to one. I feel like now that we have a duo, there is a chance. It's a small chance, and a lot of things are going to happen between now and TI. But
look at you getting your hopes up.
It's always going to be in the back of my mind, 100%. I mean, come on, dude. If you've been invited to one, it's always in the back of your mind. It's always like, unless the dialogue to yourself is, unless they think I did an absolutely awful job, I'm always at least on that runner-up list of people they would consider again for future gigs if I'm still casting and people are liking it. It's just, I think it's a natural way to assess the situation. So there's always that, I call it the 5%, like last TI, like I know I'm not going to get invited. There are so many other casters that have been slaying it this year. I haven't been casting that much at all. I'm not going to be invited, and I know I'm not going to host it. It's going to be fucking Red Eye or Day 9 or somebody that's Machine. That's a way better host than me objectively, and that's cool. They fucking deserve it. But there's still that 5%, that little bit that fucks with you when the invites are coming out, and you're like, you never know. Machine could be busy. They could all be busy. There's that 5%. Of course, it's never going to happen. Yeah. It's like that second binding from fucking Baron and Molten Core to get the Thunder Fury. I still never got it. I killed that guy fucking 200 times. 5% drop rate, my ass. Anyway, I digress. I love TI, though. It's an awesome event. It's a lot of fun, especially Vancouver this year. Holy fuck, dude. I've never been to Vancouver. That would be the dream.
I've never been either, actually. So I've never been west of Toronto. I've been to Toronto in the airport. The furthest I've been and experienced the city in Canada was actually Ottawa. I've never been to Manitoba, Saskatchewan, Alberta, or BC. So
Manitoba.
I've been to Toronto, but that was only for the airport, so it doesn't really count in terms of going far west, really. So yeah, I would like to go party in Vancouver.
Party in Vancouver.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be a nice city. I know it's expensive, but
it is very expensive. Yes, that is true.
Yeah, I've only been to Montreal. That's it. My Canada list is pretty short. I've got some catching up to do.
So what do we have before TI then? So it's March right now.
Yeah.
We have a chock full schedule. I'm gonna start reading some events here. So we have Dream League happening right now, and then DAC begins. After DAC, we have a Star Ladder Minor. We have a Perfect World Minor. We have the Epicenter Major. And then we have GESC Jakarta. Then we have a Mars TV Major. Then we have an ESL Major. That must be Birmingham, is it?
Wait, no. Jakarta just happened, dude. GESC Thailand is That's what you're talking about. The thing in May.
Yes. Why does it say Jakarta? Yeah, you're right. Oops,
Jakarta
my
is in
bad.
Indonesia. That's the one that
Yeah,
just
I'm
happened.
reading the Knoxville calendar. It is incorrect.
Yeah. Oh,
When
okay.
is-
No, I'm looking at the Pro Circuit website. So yeah, up right now. Dream League's going on. DreamHack, right? So Perfect World is up next, then Star Ladder, then Epicenter, and then GESC Thailand. So it's a pretty good gauntlet through most of April. And rumor is that most of April that isn't filled with LAN is going to have a shitload of qualifiers for.
It's gonna have to for Mars TV, for Birmingham, for and then the PGL Major in June, and that's it. We're actually not that far away.
Yeah, dude. There's not that many events. It's pretty bonkers. It's bananas.
It is bananas. Stupid baby.
I hope we get
People
to
keep
cast.
asking me if I planned the baby around TI. Not gonna lie, that was a thing.
I hope we get to cast something, Trent. I don't know what it's
Me
going to
too.
be. It's not going to be DreamHack. It's not going to be the next China event. It's not going to be Star Ladder. Probably not going to be Epicenter. Probably not the next GESC. So let's go ESL England, huh? Are we doing this thing, bud?
See, at the time upon which maybe they were thinking about possibly inviting some people, someone was supposed to have a baby much closer to that event, and so may have said no.
Uh-oh. Well, shit.
Yeah.
You should have pushed for me, pal. Come on. This was us.
Sorry, dude.
Oh.
My bad.
All
I
right,
don't
well.
think you really fill my
all
role.
right. Perfect World PGL Super Major. Let's go. Let's
That's
go.
pretty
This
much
is
it,
us,
dude.
baby. The final home run before TI.
Yep.
All right.
I'll be there for that.
All right, we
If
need
I-
to, we
if
need to
I
get some
invite
good graces with Perfect World, pal. We need to start networking right now for this because this is our TI invite on the line. Fuck. What's that other
Oh,
major,
right,
the one
it's-
that's pending?
it's
I actually
Birmingham,
don't know
right?
what that is.
Sorry, I kept saying Birmingham. It's Birmingham.
Do you know what
What's
that
the
other
last
major
one?
is? May 14th to 20th?
Is that the Mars one? May 14th to 20th? Yeah, that's a Mars
I guess
TV major.
it says pending, so, oh, well. China, eh?
I think so.
Wow. Okay, so what else do we have, Trent? Anything else on the docket? These morning podcasts, I feel like I slept too well. I'm still in sleepy mode. I have not
Don't
been
worry,
watching much of the recent Dream League. I like you, have not been up on current Dota. I've been getting caught up on other work outside of the esports realm. I did that interview I did at the Bucharest Major got posted. No one seemed to
did
care
it?
about it, so that's nice.
I didn't know.
I'm going to link it in chat, though.
Do it
The
up.
nice tortellini.
Torty. MDL Shangsa, that's right. That's the name of it. Thank you, Deja. Yeah.
Let's see here. It was a nice interview, though. It's always fun.
Oh, there it is. Perfect.
There
I'll
it
give that a
is.
tweet. I'll tweet that out.
I'll give it a tweet. You know, I'm not gonna lie. I saw that old Beyond the Summit intro on Reddit, and it kind of gave me chills. I felt like such a douchebag. I saw it. I clicked on. I'm like, oh yeah, of course. Let's just recycle dumb old content. Ah. And then I watched it and went, oh my god, dude, that sound is bringing me back to a time of Dota that doesn't exist anymore. Oh, in some ways it was the good old days, and then I kind of snapped out of it and went, oh yes, wait, we're on to bigger and better things now. But there were a lot of positives back in those days. It's just the hard grind, casting 40 hours a week with like 4 or 5 people in the studio, just going in 3 or 4 tournaments at once, traveling around to LANs. I don't know, man. That there was something beautiful about that kind of low budget, honest, hard work kind of product that BTS was for that year and a half that I was there, or just running that intro before every single game. Oh,
Yeah. I remember wanting to be part of BCS so bad then. I was like, man, I can do this. But
what
but
happened?
nay.
What happened?
I don't know.
Yeah. Mott had the same feeling, It was basically between me or Mott for that job,
That's true, yeah.
That's poor Mott got shafted twice over because the first one was MLG, right? You know this story. Yeah?
Yes. Yeah.
This was when MLG was headquartered in New York. They had just done the 2013, the first crowdfunded event, MLG Columbus, the first one where I met LD. Like Mott and I were both on that little guest panel thing, Clutch's Corner. So it looked like MLG was about to start doing a lot more shit in Dota. So they had this job posting to hire 2 full-time casters. Mott and I both applied for it, right? They told both of us that we were straight shooters, like likely to get it almost 100%. Turns out that those jobs never really existed. It was basically just a PR stunt to like make it seem like MLG was really serious about Dota and making a big investment. So they didn't hire any of us, but they told Mott that it was so likely that like we were both applying to BTS, and he kind of told BTS like, nah, I'm okay. I'm going to focus on this because it's in New York, it's closer to home, and I think I'm a shoo-in. Thanks, but I'm going to follow this opportunity. So instead of getting the hard no, it just sort of slowly fizzles out, right? So that job doesn't happen. I start doing stuff with BTS. I accept the job. He goes to BTS and says, hey, guys, I'd actually like to work for you because that MLG thing didn't work out. And they go, sorry, we already hired somebody else for that job. We'll see you later. So he's just sitting there like, well, fuck me. Jesus Christ. So we were both kind of caught up in that same shuffle, but I got lucky and went sort of a step ahead. And honestly, the main reason he chose MLG was because it was close to home. He was living in Albany, and it was in New York. That was like the huge motivator behind the decision. And he just got fucking shafted from the back end. And it was brutal, dude. It's tough shit.
Actually. Poor guy.
But look, we've come full circle.
But look where Mott is now.
Yeah.
Right. Could have been an Overwatch caster.
Fucking MLG.
Don't cry for MLG, guys. Man. I don't know. I keep checking out those Overwatch League numbers. They're not bad. They're better than I thought. In the second half, they look pretty good.
I mean, I something's happening. I don't know. I'm not going to lie.
Good.
I don't get it, but if the numbers are there, the numbers are there, and Overwatch is holding steady for now.
Thank you, Overwatch.
I'm still skeptical. Let me put it that way. But what are you going to do? Yeah, it worked out okay for MLG. You know, the conclusion to that story is they shrunk down to a minimalist staff after a while. They went all in with Call of Duty, and they made this genius move to become kind of like the NFL of Call of Duty, with a league, with a draft, and they had all of this infrastructure.
Oh my God, I forgot about that.
And it was so good that, remember, Activision and Blizzard are the same company. They have a public stock. They're like, they had a merger. It's Activision Blizzard. They bought MLG for their Call of Duty league. So MLG got a buyout after hemorrhaging all this money and doing all these events that were barely break even, and they were just like chasing investor dollars and then burning it and then getting more investment rounds and burning it and chasing this insane startup roller coaster on the high of esports exploding over time. And in the end, they were just bought out by a massive public company. It's not bad. It's not bad. I don't know. It's kind of laughable in some ways. I'm glad I didn't jump on that train, but Jesus.
They're going to buy us for Midas Mode.
Whew.
Don't you know?
Huh?
Moonduck Dream. We're gonna get bought out just for Midas Mode.
There you go, dude. Bought out just for the the Midas Mode IP. That would, we'd have to give a big cut to Slacks though. I don't know how good of a deal that would be for us overall.
Yeah, it's true.
Oh man. The good old days.
It's so weird not having to go change a diaper right now. Like all we do. Well, I do. I'm definitely the diaper hands because I usually have to deal with the diaper while she feeds him. So I'm becoming quite the diaper wizard here, guys.
Oh my!
We're doing cloth diapers. I don't know if you have an opinion on that.
Well, you got to save the environment. You know, one diaper at a time.
Like the chemicals and stuff that it's not like I'm not concerned about the chemicals like leaking into my baby. I'm concerned about the idea of just like, oh my God, what it takes to make a fucking disposable diaper is pretty gross.
Huh.
At the same time, it takes a lot to make a reusable diaper too. You actually have to get a lot of use out of a diaper to do the same thing. But once you go through a couple kids, then it'll be worth it.
Yeah. I've read before that something about those plastic diapers, because they're meant to not leak like poop and pee. They're not biodegradable. So they're actually really bad in landfills, and they add up real fast because you go through diapers like super fucking fast. So cloth ones are actually way better for the environment, even though they use a shitload of water and stuff in the washing machine. They're still like, it's a good call. It's a good call. You know, I just saw this thing here that McDonald's is set to be the first restaurant company to set this science-based greenhouse gas emission. They have this giant goal by 2030 to
I saw that.
Like reduce some dumb amount of carbon dioxide. It's pretty McDonald's of all companies. Isn't it weird? Like, McDonald's is sort of becoming a little bit more of a progressive company in a lot of ways. They used to be behind the curve, and then that trans fat thing happened, and they were kind of like, hey, you guys are right. We're going to get rid of this trans fat shit. I mean, we didn't really want to, but fine, we'll fucking do it. And now they're like slowly moving to make McDonald's a little bit less shitty. And now if you just order like an Egg McMuffin, it's not the worst thing ever. It's a real egg.
It's kind of weird. You're like, really? This is like 260 calories or something? If
Yeah.
it's just the egg one?
You know, it's a little greasy. It's a little buttery, but all things considered, it's like it's a pretty okay, fairly protein dense little breakfast there. You know, it's the hash brown that'll get you, or the straight sugar orange juice. But overall, McDonald's has made a lot of strides, and it's a really fucking weird thing to say because it is like the most corporate of corporate corporations. It's what a time to be alive, Trent.
I mean, I don't know if it's true in America. I guess their PR was awful because of whatchamacallit, Super Size Me, right? That was like the biggest PR disaster in history for McDonald's that I can think of.
Yeah.
Because for like 5 or 6 years, that was pretty big news, right? All this talk about it. But you're right, they cleaned it up after that. And then ever since that, I don't know. I have no negative corporate connotations to McDonald's.
You saw when we were in Romania, final meal, dude. I went to fucking McDonald's. I was like, you know what? A fucking cheeseburger sounds really good right now. I'm gonna get some nuggets. And it's weird that sometimes when I'm in a foreign country, McDonald's is the thing that doesn't upset my stomach. You know, if I don't overeat and I just have like a double cheeseburger and 5 nuggets and no soda, I'm good. I'm having a solid shit the next day. Whereas if I gamble on some Chinese street food, it might be the squirts, you know?
Yeah.
That's a weird concept. So I've come to appreciate McDonald's a little bit more, where it has this sort of baseline of quality no matter where you are in the world. That is a hard thing to execute. You know, there is some variation across the global McDonald's, but a lot of the core things on the menu, a double cheeseburger, a fucking set of nugs, they're somewhat ubiquitous, and that is a feat in our flat world, our modern
It's also
age.
worth mentioning I see someone talking about it now, so I'm gonna go off on this because McDonald's coffee, dude, they fucking slayed Canada.
Really?
Like, they nailed it. They nailed it so hard. So Tim Hortons coffee is like, obviously it's like a staple of Canada, but they intentionally came in, just started giving away free coffee, and the coffee is so much better than Tim Hortons coffee. Literally, the only reason that Tim Hortons came out with dark roast is because McDonald's coffee was so much fucking better. Like, I don't know how anyone likes Tim's coffee. I actually have never liked it. Never been a fan, but it was the only coffee place. I love all the food at Tim's. But the dark roast at McDonald's, like, their only coffee is just like a darker roast. And everyone started going to McDonald's. Because number one, they gave away free coffee a lot. And number two, it tasted better. So why wouldn't I go to McDonald's? And then they came out with dark roast, and I'm like, thank God Tim's is actually drinkable now. So McDonald's, you are fucking heroes. Thank you. Also, their lids are way better. Fuck Tim Hortons lids. Garbage. Absolute garbage.
Now I wish that I had gone to Tim Hortons more when we were in Montreal, dude. I didn't get the full experience. But McDonald's coffee is pretty good, I have to admit. And it's usually pretty cheap. That's the thing. McDonald's has the Walmart effect, right? There's so many, and they produce in bulk so massively that it's ridiculously cost effective. The coffee and the food is just cheaper than your alternatives, and now their baseline is pretty good. I can't believe I'm selling out for McDonald's right now. We need a Moonduck McDonald's sponsorship. We need a fucking sales manager. I swear to God, dude. Like, there's so much opportunity here, and I don't know how to get these connections, you know?
I have to clear up as well, by the way. Tim's was bought out by the people who own Burger King. I think it's a Brazilian company, if I'm not mistaken. And then that's what fucked up the coffee, because then McDonald's bought their old supplier. But they did change the coffee. It is not the same as Tim's coffee. It is way darker.
Man.
But like, basically, not only was the coffee McDonald's now better, but Tim's coffee also got worse. But I will still stand by the fact that Tim Hortons coffee has always been garbage. And that's why everyone buys a fucking double. Sorry, my throat is... Like, who like goes to someone's house and puts in like 2 cups of milk and 2 things of sugar? Do you know why that's a normal thing for Tim's? Because it's awful. It's garbage. It was garbage, people. We even had commercials where they always go, double. Need a double.
Oh, my God.
Anyway, sorry.
Anytime I think of Tim Hortons, I always just think about the time you told me that the lady at the DMV was obnoxiously Canadian.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. She was so obnoxiously Canadian.
Oh, yeah. I remember messaging you about that.
Yeah. That was great. It was a great moment.
How times have changed.
How
now I have to
times
get birth
changed.
certificates.
So, have you been playing with Dota Plus there, pal?
Dude, I haven't. Let me look at my Dota buff here. The last time I played, I think, a Crystal Maiden game the night before. I forget who I was playing with. I played a couple games at Dota Plus. Played some Lions, some Knicks. Oh, I was playing with Slacks 8 days ago, so the day before the baby. You know, just chilling, talking to Slacks, playing some Dotes, but that was pretty much it. I mean, I think it's kind of cool. I don't really get what I'm paying for, to be honest. Am I wrong?
Yeah.
What am I paying for?
So I had
just-
this
I just
conversation.
put money in Dota, guys. It's my life. You know, I don't really have a choice. I'm
Yeah.
sure they know that. I'm gonna
So,
open up the client right now.
I bought it literally for that reason. My perspective on things like that is way skewed. I am not the normal demographic of gamer or person that says like, explain the value. Why did you buy Dota Plus? Was it based on the value? Not really. I buy all this kind of shit because it's a vanity thing for me. I can write it off because it's part of my job. And also, like,
I can write it off, dude. You're gonna write off Dota Plus? You're a fucking genius.
Dude, are you fucking
gonna
kidding me?
write off
100%.
Dota Plus.
Why would you not write it off? Are you kidding? Dude, you
I never
broadcast
thought
with
of
that
Dota
thing.
Plus.
You're using it to as like source material to talk on What the Duck and the Zyori podcast. These are commercial products, my friend. That is an easy write-off. 100%. Do you think Purge doesn't write off Dota Plus? Are you shitting me, dude?
Dude, I guarantee. I would be surprised if Purge did.
You
I'll be
should.
surprised.
You're dumb if you don't. Let me put it that way.
Yeah, I agree. I just never would have thought of it.
All right. I will be that bold. I don't even think it's a risk. I think it's totally reasonable. But
What about cosmetics? Can you write off chests?
I think you can make a case depending on how you use it. If you're Dota Cinema, I'm sure Sunsfan doesn't write them off because he's lazier than shit.
Right, he probably could.
But he should. You're buying them for a video that you're commercializing on a big YouTube channel. 100% that's a write-off.
Yeah, you're right. Actually, I totally forgot. Laddyware points out I was talking about this when it came out that all casters have to buy it because of the win percentage, right? If you have Dota Plus, you can use that win percentage tool graph.
Oh,
you can use that during a cast.
Yeah, there you go. It does have advantages for spectators. I mean, I don't know. I do like that stuff though. You know, it's kind of cool to be able to show off like, hey, I'm a level 3 Crystal Maiden. I played this hero a lot. It kind of gives your teammates a little extra confidence in you maybe. I've been playing a lot of pubs recently, Trent. My MMR has been low because honestly, I was doing pretty well, and then I went on this binge of playing almost exclusively while intoxicated, and it's just been a slow decay over the last couple years. And I'm
good on you, buddy.
Slowly grinding my way, and that's cool, right? It's different ways of playing Dota. Like honestly, one thing that Charlie said to me that changed my perspective once was like I played with him, and he would like rage at pubs and strangers. And I remember asking him like, "Why are you yelling at random people?" And he's just like, it's just a release, dude. Like, some people play pubs to fucking try hard and wave their dick about MMR. Some people play pubs just to fucking feel good about themselves and release some of that rage, you know? And he said it in a very matter-of-fact way of, like, I'm not trying to, like, go over the line and hurt people's feelings, but when I fucking kill somebody, I'm going to be like, bitch, I fucking owned you. Shut up, you know? Like, that's why I'm playing the game. That's what makes it worth playing. Why does Slacks play techies? Same fucking reason. It's to make people miserable. You know, it's sort of to win the game, but MMR is the secondary goal. The primary goal is just to have fun by making other people miserable. And that's kind of cool. That's so like, Dota was just a vice for me for a while to blow off some steam, and I was sort of happy to break even and trickle down. But now that I'm in the dumpster tier of like 3,300 solo MMR, it's kind of fun, and I'm swinging upwards. I've been playing a lot of Crystal Maiden, a lot of Underlord, a lot of CK. It's a good place to be, man.
Did you play a game against Purge in Day 9 yesterday?
Dude, we beat Day 9 and Purge yesterday on stream.
About this.
Oh my God. I'm so glad you reminded me, dude. So this was incredible. This is actually fucking insane. So me, Carlo, Mott, right? We don't queue up that much. Yesterday,
I gotta find this replay.
We had a great work day. All right, yeah, pull up the Dota buff and link it in chat, okay? So we're having a great work day. It's like 2 or 3 in the afternoon. We say, hey, let's celebrate with some afternoon pubs. Mott had just woken up. We popped a couple of multi-focus. We're ready to party, right? So we get in there. We play one pub. We win. It feels pretty good. I think I played Crystal Maiden. It's awesome. Mott and Carlo did a Marana Undying dual off lane and just fucking slaughtered with the CM aura. It was double awesome. So we go into game 2. Immediately, Carlo's like, oh my God, there's a rank 1600 on the other team. Fuck, how is this fair? And then I look, I'm like, dude, his name's Pudge. And I mouse over, I'm like, dude, that's fucking Purge. And Mott goes, that's Purge in Day 9. They're playing on stream right now to 2,500 viewers. So I first pick Crystal Maiden, and we say, you guys just want to do the same thing? And they go Marana, Undying, dual aggro off lane. I go safe lane. I think we had not a Void. What do we have safe lane?
You had a Sven and an SF were your other two heroes.
Yeah, Shadow Fiend mid and the Sven. They were both pubs, just randoms. And Sven and I kind of slaughtered the safe lane, and I got a lot of farm. Carlo and Mott fed first blood to Purge and then started taking over. We talked Carlo going into Aghanim's first Mirana. Purge went Lincoln's instead of B. He never bought a BKB, and he just got slaughtered by the magic damage every fight. He would just get bursted down. It was pretty sick. We actually won the game.
That's
and
pretty funny, dude.
Honestly, dude, it was my second most proud Dota moment ever. First being the show match at Captain's Draft where I played the carry Dazzle. But this was pretty good.
I like your teammate Sven was named Pablo Escobang.
He was pretty decent though. He was going pretty ham.
That's pretty damn funny, dude.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations on your stream victory. Oh my god, the chat must have been so funny.
Dude, I wish we were streaming. We were gonna do a multi-focus sellout stream, but I was just like, let's just play for fun. That would have been the best fucking advertising ever. Powered by multi-focus.
You guys beat
Fuck.
Purge in day 9. And
Yeah.
Purge wasn't even like playing support. He was actually carrying.
He was playing carry. He was actually playing carry. Our Shadow
That's really
Fiend was
funny.
pretty good, but he didn't like slaughter mid or anything. It was I played a solid CM though, Trent. You would have been proud. I really
Oh, yeah?
I really did well for myself.
What did you buy? You bought Glimmer. You bought a 41-minute Maelstrom. You had no items from 20 to 41 minutes.
Yeah, I was buying wards and shit, dog.
Dude, 21 minutes you could only buy wards? Bruh.
I was pooling gold, you know? I was
Uh-huh.
getting up to there's that mid game. I had to play passive. Day 9's a fucking Night Stalker, dude. If I didn't play passive, he shits on my biscuits.
What was this Maelstrom? Was this the
You get the attack
You got the
speed,
attack
and then
speed,
you
you bought
get
a Maelstrom?
Maelstrom so that you can do damage in fights and also clear creeps in case you get Megan. Haven't you ever played Crystal Maiden before, bruh? What? Do you get the freezing field instead of the attack speed?
No, I'm fine with the attack speed, especially if it's against like you're against a Weaver, so it's really good. Like
Hell
I
yeah.
get it whenever I'm against like Phoenix, if I'm against Weaver, anything that I need so many hits to destroy shit, like Tombstone and everything. But no, I just like where were your items, dude? Come on now.
I don't know. I mean,
I would have just bought a BKB this game. You had nothing that canceled BKB on the enemy side. You could have just fucking BKB slaughtered.
it's true.
I probably would have went the freezing field.
It's true.
okay,
I
though.
went
You
freezing
slayed.
field the game before, and then afterwards, Carlo was like, "Dude, you could go attack speed Maelstrom," and then we actually got Megged that game, and I regretted not having it, so I really wanted to try it the next game. That was kind of part of it.
That's too funny that you guys won. That's hilarious.
And I was also afraid to go all in and buy a Maelstrom and then lose, so I was
They had
pulling
a
buyback
10K
gold for a while.
lead at 37 minutes, and you guys won.
Yep,
Congratulations.
dude, it was a big victory. Thank you.
Very important. That's hilarious. What are the chances? You guys had no idea?
Yeah, literally no idea. Like we didn't even realize they were streaming until Mott said something. Pretty incredible. So one of the last things I do want to mention, I'm glad somebody brought it up. Shout out to Laddieware.
Oh, yes. Good, I was gonna follow
PUBG
this too.
on the phone, dude. I have not played it, and I probably will never. Now, I'm not going to lie. I just want to put this on the record. If someone were to offer me a gratuitous sum of money
Sure.
to pretend that PUBG on the phone is really cool, I would probably accept that money and just bite the bullet.
How long
However,
do you think it'll take me to download? I'll download it right now.
Dude, come on. What are we doing here? Like, what I don't need to play that shit to know it's dumb, because the core of what makes PUBG a fun and exciting game is the quote unquote realism and the high skill cap. That degree of like Counter-Strike, how the guns fire and recoil and it's hard to aim and you die real fast and people sneak up on you. Like, the game is super punishing, and that's what makes it fun, because when you win, it's very, very rewarding. How the fuck you can't mimic that on a phone? You're playing
Yeah,
with
I
your
don't get it.
fingers. It's not even. Is it dual analog? I don't know. I was gonna say it's not dual analog. I don't really know. But
I don't know either. I haven't played it, but like Fortnite has the same thing
Dude.
too, right? I guess I just don't get why you would ever play those games on mobile.
I think part of the problem is you and I don't play mobile games, so we just see mobile gaming as a waste of time. Where some people are like, well I'm
that's
sitting
not
on the
true.
train. So
I'll say I play quite a few mobile games in the sense of I use them for those purposes. Like
Really?
I use
Okay.
them on the plane. I use them.
all right, fair.
Like if I have those moments, like for example, currently, oftentimes I only have one hand free due to baby, and sometimes baby is asleep and not interacting. So I'll play a little bit of Mario Run on my phone. It's one-handed.
Yeah.
I have a lot of emulators on my phone. I tend to. The
All
way
right.
I look at mobile games is they need to be able to be put down instantly, because if I'm playing on my mobile, I'm probably doing something else. So I don't get how are you going to play PUBG? Where am I going to dedicate myself to fucking PUBG? Like, I'm not going to have Wi-Fi, so the connection's probably going to be spotty. I don't get it.
Yeah,
I just don't get it.
It doesn't. I mean, it just doesn't really appeal to me. That's not the kind of game I want to play on the phone. I don't really play phone games, I guess. I'm not the target demographic, but
yeah,
it sounds fucking stupid.
It makes sense to me in terms of kids, though. Like, I think about, like, every kid now has a phone. And I think,
true.
what did I do in
It's an accessibility thing.
Middle school, high school. Like, think about lunchtime. They can all take out their phones and play PUBG.
It's true.
That makes sense.
It's an accessibility thing. And
yeah.
What is true is that in that context, let's say you've got, 10 people in your school that are all playing at lunch. The game might be dumbed down, but you're all facing the same skill cap of playing with your fingers. So you're all equally handicapped playing a dumber. So if you're okay, I get it. It's like an opportunity cost trade-off thing, or it's like, well, given the context of we're stuck at school and all we have are our phones, this is better than playing rock, paper, scissors, so we might as well play it.
And do you remember, I don't know if you guys had this, but everyone there was the Game Boy gazebo at my elementary school where everyone would go to hang out and play Game Boy during lunch. Oh, fuck, man. The fucking glory days. I remember my first ever school dance. All the guys were in the corner playing Pokemon on our Game Boys, and it was the funnest night ever. Good times, man. I used to love that shit. And someone would bring the link cables, and we'd be like trading everything.
Oh, yeah.
Is Fortnite actually crossover? It crossplay. Is that true?
I don't think so. I thought I heard that it was separate. Maybe you share an account, but it's, you're only playing against people that are on mobile and people on desktop are playing desktop. But I'm not sure.
It says how to enable it.
Pokemon. Oh, you have to opt in. Okay, yeah.
Oh, that makes sense. So that's kind of crazy, though. Yeah, you're right. You can opt in.
That is crazy.
So you can play. That is kind of cool that you can choose to play with your friends on their PC, even though you'll be garbage,
That is true. That is kind of a cool accessibility thing. And I understand the merit to that. So I see the appeal in certain situations. And with Fortnite, it makes a little more sense. Because I actually have not played Fortnite. I was just about to install it the other day. It's on my list. Huh?
Let's play some Fortnite. I want to try that game.
Let's try it. But it has more mechanics that are it's a little more user friendly, I think. It's a little bit less try hard than PUBG.
Oh, definitely.
So
you can't even properly aim, dude. It's like RNG shooting.
Yeah, and it's like there's like that building aspect, and it's just it's a little more fun, I think, objectively. I played PUBG for the first time in a couple weeks the other day. I got second. My first person perspective was a lot of fun because people were just terrible. I had 7 kills and got second. I was tearing it up. I landed at the school and killed 4 people. And even in that round where I had 7 kills and I was just like, dude, this is a great round, there was still like a good 40 to 50% of it where I was just kind of sitting there driving around doing nothing, and it was just boring as fuck. And I was like, this game is just, it has this long period where there's just not much to do. The map is so big and spread out, you're just running around. And I think Fortnite is a little bit less punishing in that regard. So it translates better to phone than PUBG does. PUBG is trying to be this hardcore competitive game, and now it's trying to cater to a casual market, and that's a recipe for disaster.
We have a shoot-off here because of PUBG. Where are Slacks and Toby right now?
They're true.
In Bucharest for the PUBG thing. I need to tune into some of that today.
That's true. Does it start today?
Yeah, I saw it was on live earlier, and I think they have 18. I think they have like a team observing every team, and you can go to that stream on their website.
Oh.
So you can have the audio feed from the casters, if I'm not mistaken. I guess you could just open a second stream if you really wanted it. But then you can watch whatever team you want, and they have a dedicated observer for each team. Pretty cool. Smart idea.
That is pretty cool. That's pretty hardcore.
Yeah. Game 2 of 4 for the day. All right, nice. They have 16 streams open for each team. Wow. That's so cool.
Wow. All right. Well, Trent, I think we can bring this guy to a close. Now, I just saw this. Again, I shouldn't read Reddit during the podcast, but my God, dude. Can we read? Is this a real Trump tweet from this morning? Can we read this real quick?
That's actually real.
Crazy Joe Biden is trying to act like a tough guy. Actually, he is weak, both mentally and physically, and yet he threatens me for the second time with physical assault. He doesn't know me, but he would go down fast and hard, crying all the way. Don't threaten people, Joe.
To be fair, Joe said something stupid. He said, like, he was talking about the locker room talk, and for what it's worth, I do agree with Biden about this sense. He said the same kind of people who said that stuff were, the fat, ugly sons of bitches, or something to that effect of just like anyone who talks about women like that was generally not the guy getting women. In regards to his locker room talk, and he said if I was in high school with him, I would have taken him behind the gym and like beat him up or something like that, or kicked his ass. Yeah, he did start it. Not gonna lie. But, there's a difference between the sitting president of the United States and some guy who was VP. And what one guy's saying in an interview that's not really that publicized or anything like that, versus the guy tweeting off the official record of what's going to be kept in the Library of Congress.
If I try to go, is Twitter just down right now? If I try to go to Joe Biden's Twitter, it says something went, okay, all of Twitter's down. That's weird. No? Okay. If I try to go to Joe, can you go to Joe Biden's Twitter?
He didn't tweet it. It was in an interview.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I just had a weird timeout on Twitter. Oh, it's in an interview. Okay, I see.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, whatever, dude. It's still like you said. That's just a very. It's just the way it's written is so comical.
It's so Trump, dude.
Actually, he is weak, both mentally and physically. It's just so very. Way to take the bait, brah. Well done. Yeah. 10 out of 10.
And the other big thing was he congratulated Putin on his fucking election victory. I can't believe him, man. What a sack of shit.
Yeah.
Trump's so useless, man. I'm so done with. Well, I mean, I've always been done with that guy, but just like, oh yeah, that nerve agent thing where he like killed that dude in the UK. I mean, but sick election, dude. Way to go.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. I won't lie. I get a little tired of the American media stuff that is so hardcore anti-Trump. Like, I literally stopped watching John Oliver because it's too much Trump talk. I just like. It's so over the top, obnoxious. Like, you're not wrong. I just don't care, dude. Find something else to talk about. I get he's wacko. Great. Stamped it. Let's move on a little bit. Let's not forget about it, but you're making it more divisive because his side is very defensive about how awesome Trump is, and now you're just riling them up to be more ridiculous, We need to try to bridge some sort of this fucking crazy dialogue. Everyone's dying and shit. It's bad news bears here in the States, Trent. It's scary out there.
Well, hopefully your next election goes well.
I'm jealous of all you socialists,
Party explodes.
Damn Canadians and Germans and Swedes. All y'all getting married and having babies and not going bankrupt. I'm jealous.
Come on over, Rover.
Come on over, Rover.
Oh, I forgot. I have a package I didn't open yet. Nice. Baby books. So many baby books, dude.
So many baby books.
God. I'm excited to just fucking get back into Dota, dude. Not gonna lie. I miss it. It's been my life for however many years now. 3 years. And now just even a week without it, I'm like twitching all over the place.
Yeah.
I haven't been able to watch a game. I've seen all these posts about the great games at GESC. I know the Navi Fnatic game, I think it was just amazing.
It'll come back, though. Babies are one of those things where it's a huge change at first, and then you'll slowly start realizing that you have a little bit of time for stuff, And it's
just got to get in a routine. That's the thing.
Exactly.
And it helps that Sarah has a full year maternity, too. So,
oh, yeah.
She has accepted at some point I will be doing Dota stuff while she's in the house, which is extremely rare. Like,
that's true.
Generally, when I'm doing Dota stuff, she's at work or she's asleep. Like I'm doing China or something. So it's going to be pretty funny. We already installed a door from the basement to upstairs, so a little bit of noise dampening there.
Yeah, well, it makes sense, though, because before, it's like you guys have sort of inverted schedules. There's limited time that overlap when you're both in the house and, she's, like, not asleep or whatever. So you guys eat dinner together and you prioritize time with her when she's there. But now you're both there all the time, so you're going to be, like, casting or doing Dota shit just while she's there, potentially.
Yep.
That's big change.
Yeah, so far her whole vocabulary is just Chronosphere, Echo Slam. She knows who Earthshaker is. She knows who Broodmother is. And that's pretty much it. So she's going to be learning.
That's good. Yeah. That's real good. Well, you got to teach him young, dude. That's for sure. I don't know. I'm gonna play some Dota, man. I'm in a Dota mood today. I'm ready to slay.
Sounds good, man. I think I'll watch some Dota. And I might be casting with Mott, I think, at 1. So like an hour and 20 minutes. Is he still asleep?
Well, 1 year time. He's probably. Yeah. I'm not sure. I don't know.
He's probably asleep. Let's be honest. We know Mott.
Yeah.
Oh well, guys.
All right, fam.
Thanks for listening to my rant.
Yes,
Sorry, there's
a
gonna be a
slow
lot of those.
Zyori podcast. I'm recovering from sickness. Trent is recovering from babiness, but it's
And
good.
sickness.
Always happy to do these, and happy 322 day.
Yes. I'm
get
glad
out
we got
there
one
and-
in on our day.
And do I got ninth in a poker tournament a couple nights ago out
Did
of
ya?
like 1,700. Yeah, won like
Wow.
$80. Pretty impressive.
Was that online? I'm taking it.
Oh yeah, pretty good.
All right.
Pretty
That's
good.
Cool.
I was pretty proud of myself, dude. I'm getting a lot better at poker. I'm getting aggressive. Huskies. All right, that's it, guys. We'll see you next time. Bye bye.